Long ago, in the heart of a vast savanna, there lay a small village called Nwande. It was a village blessed with fertile lands, flowing rivers, and a community that thrived together in harmony. At the heart of this village was Nwande, a midwife known far and wide for her skill in assisting women during childbirth. She was revered by all, and her name was spoken with admiration and trust. But Nwande held a secret, a darkness buried deep in her soul. Many years ago, she had been a mother herself, blessed with a beautiful daughter. Her child was the light of her life, but tragedy struck when a mysterious illness took the little girl away. Heartbroken, Nwande cried to the gods for answers, but when none came, her sorrow turned to anger. She resented the gods, the spirits, and even the mothers who cradled healthy babies in their arms. This bitterness festered within her, unnoticed by the villagers. Over time, it poisoned her heart, and though she continued her duties as a midwife, she began to commit unspeakable acts in secret. Nwande's methods during childbirth were no different from any other midwife. She boiled herbs, sang soothing songs, and guided mothers through the pain of labor. But when the moment of birth arrived, she would lean close to the newborn's ear and whisper a curse. "May misfortune follow you all your days," she would murmur, her voice low and venomous. From the outside, no one could see what she was doing. Nwande would smile warmly as she handed the child to the mother, her demeanor calm and reassuring. But her curses took root like invisible thorns, bringing illness, bad luck, and misery to the families she served. At first, the villagers thought the hardships were coincidental. A child who was born weakly died within weeks, while another who seemed healthy fell ill with no explanation. A third child grew up to be accident-prone, constantly bringing heartache to his parents. The villagers turned to their spiritual elders, asking if the gods or spirits were angry. It must be a curse, they concluded, but no one suspected Nwande. She was too trusted, too respected. One fateful day, an elderly wise woman named Mama Dela visited Nwande. She was a renowned seer, traveling from village to village to mediate disputes, heal the sick, and communicate with the spirits. Upon arriving in Nwande, Mama Dela immediately sensed something amiss. "There is sorrow here," she told the village chief. "It clings to the air like smoke." The chief explained the misfortunes that had plagued the village in recent years: infant deaths, strange illnesses, and unexplainable bad luck. Mama Dela listened carefully, her sharp eyes scanning the faces of the villagers. "Tell me," she asked, "who oversees the births in this village?" The villagers pointed to Nwande. The midwife stepped forward, her head held high. "I have served this village faithfully for many years," she said. "I have done nothing but help bring life into the world." Mama Dela nodded, but said nothing. She decided to stay in the village for some time, observing and listening. A few weeks later, a young woman named Kayla went into labor. The entire village gathered outside her hut to await the birth. Mama Dela insisted on attending the delivery, despite Nwande's protests. "Two sets of hands are better than one," Mama Dela said with a smile, though her eyes betrayed her suspicion. As the baby was born, Mama Dela watched closely. She noticed how Nwande leaned in, her lips moving silently near the newborn's ear. "Stop," Mama Dela commanded, her voice like thunder. The room fell silent. Nwande froze, her face pale. "What are you saying to the child?" Mama Dela demanded. Nwande stammered, but Mama Dela was relentless. She stepped closer, her presence commanding. "Speak the truth, or the spirits will strike you down where you stand." Unable to withstand the pressure, Nwande broke down. Tears streamed down her face as she confessed. "I curse them," she admitted, her voice trembling. "I curse the children because I lost my own. Why should others know joy when I have only known sorrow?" The villagers outside heard her confession and gasped in horror. Mothers clutched their children tightly, and fathers clenched their fists in anger. The chief called an emergency council that night. The entire village gathered around the fire to discuss Nwande's fate. Many demanded harsh punishment. "She has brought suffering to our children," one mother cried. "She deserves no mercy." Others were conflicted. "She is one of us," an elder said. Her pain blinded her, but she was once a good woman. Mama Dela stood and raised her hand for silence. What Nwande has done is unforgivable, she said, but her soul is already tormented. Let the spirits judge her. She must leave this village and never return. The chief nodded in agreement. Nwande was brought before the villagers. She was given a sack of provisions and told to leave at sunrise. Go, the chief said sternly. May the spirits guide you to redemption, if such a path exists. Nwande left without a word. Her once proud figure was hunched with shame as she disappeared into the horizon. In the days that followed, the villagers worked to heal. Mama Dela led ceremonies to cleanse the village of Nwande's curses. She instructed the mothers to take their children to the river and wash them with sacred herbs, asking the spirits for protection. The villagers also built a shrine to honor the ancestors and offer prayers for their children's well-being. They learned to be more vigilant, vowing never to place blind trust in anyone again. As for Nwande, she wandered the land, seeking redemption. Some say she became a healer, helping the sick and the needy to atone for her sins. Others believe she lived in solitude, tormented by her guilt until the end of her days. The story of Nwande, the wayward midwife, was passed down through generations. It served as a reminder of the dangers of letting grief and bitterness fester, as well as the importance of accountability and forgiveness. And so, the village of Nwande prospered, its people wiser and more united than ever before.